add body and dashboard cameras to their patrol.
Workers are becoming ill while trying to clean up the derailment in East Palestine, why this may be happening, and their response.
Michigan State is taking action after the shooting last month, what steps the university is taking and what it means for students.
From the Upside Down to a stage play in London, a science fiction Netflix original will be going overseas. All these stories and more as your Thursday edition of TV2 News starts right now.
This is TV2 News.
Good evening, Portage County, and happy Thursday. I'm Sydney Brown.
And I'm Alexa Blakley. Thank you so much for joining us.
We begin tonight with the Sheriff's Department, where they are planning to utilize body cameras and dashboard cameras in Portage County.
Our very own Alexandria Manthey spoke to a Portage County detective about this addition to the task force. Hi, Alex.
Hi guys, that's right. The Sheriff's Department and the Portage County Commissioners made the decision to order the cameras about a year ago. The department received the cameras in November but have experienced some delays.
The Portage County Sheriff's Department's new body and dash cameras will soon be in operation.
It was something that was always talked about here at the Sheriff's Office, but again, something that never really came to fruition up until last year.
The department has had the equipment since November, but there has been a delay in getting everything up and running.
Things we have to develop, right? Because the first day we have video, we have to be ready for public records requests. We have to be ready for requests from prosecutors for court, defense attorneys for court. And so those processes and procedures need to be in place. We can't just hand somebody a camera and say, go use this, right? We have to train our people on how to use it.
DeSario said the cameras will be used at every traffic stop, and the body and dash cams are specifically designed to communicate with one another.
So anytime a body cam comes on, the associated dash camera is also going to come on, even if, the car's just parked in a driveway somewhere. The cameras will be used on every call for service. And then once that call for service is cleared and the deputy knows what the result is, the video will be categorized appropriately.
This is also one way to keep officers accountable.
We can use the cameras for accountability, certainly, but we can also use the cameras for transparency to show the residents of Portage County just exactly what our deputies deal with on a day-to-day basis.
DeSario estimates the system cost around $400,000 for the department.
We're very unique because we didn't have cameras before. We kind of got to design the system the way we want to work, instead of doing a bunch of add-ons, adding body cams to dash cams or adding dash cams to body cams. Everything is stored in an evidentiary cloud-based system, but that comes at a cost, and each device has its own storage costs.
The system will be in use within the next few weeks.
Over the last, I'd say probably month and a half, our vendor has been upfitting cars that are already have partitions, already have lights, already have sirens. They've been installing the dash cams into those vehicles. The first week in March, GTAC is actually going to come out and program those dash cameras that are already installed. They're going to program the body cameras, and then the program will be live after that.
The department will have dash cameras in some cars and are planning to install more as cars continue to become uplifted. Reporting in the Franklin Hall studio, I'm Alexandria Manthey.
Thank you, Alex. In East Palestine, new developments from the recovering city. Our very own Alexa Blakley has the updates.
Thanks. That's right, Sydney. Environmental activist Aaron Brockovich was in East Palestine today for another town hall meeting. Brockovich spent the morning with residents of the town, and then they addressed the media together to voice their concerns about the situation. At the town hall meeting, Brockovich and a group of 3 lawyers educated residents on how they could take legal action against Norfolk Southern. The visit came just a few days after Brockovich's previous town hall on Friday.
The need for the United States Congress to take action in regard to rail safety. There is action going on in the state legislature, and I applaud that. But the reality is that with the preemptions that we've had over the years and the way the laws are today, if we want to make sure there's action taken quickly and it's universal throughout this country, it obviously has to come from the federal government.
Governor Mike DeWine is calling on President Biden to visit East Palestine, saying, quote, "The people want to see the president." The governor has been working to monitor the safety of the air and drinking water and to assess any potential long-term health impacts. He also said that with the supervision of a court, a fund would be established to help any residents who faced long-term health issues. The The Norfolk Southern Transportation Company is working to clean up the site of their train that derailed, but their workers are beginning to fall ill. Workers have reported experiencing migraines and nausea, and the head of the American Rail System Federation, Jonathan Long, said that they were not provided with personal protective equipment. Long sent a letter to government leaders pleading them to, quote, stop Norfolk Southern's reckless business practices. State, local, and federal officials are holding a town hall meeting today from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the East Palestine High School. Officials from the EPA and HHS will be present along with representatives of Norfolk Southern. The EPA has also set up a community welcome center where residents can come ask questions or request cleaning services. Tune in tomorrow at 6 p.m. for the full story. That's all the updates on East Palestine we have for today. Follow us on our social media at Kent Wired for more updates on the East Palestine derailment.
How's it going, Portage County? I'm Michael Neenan, and we've had a lot of nice weather lately, so let's see what else is in store, because currently in Kent, it is around 43 degrees. It does feel like it's 38 degrees, but it's not too big of a difference. Dew point is at 32 degrees. The wind is traveling north to northwest at 8 miles per hour. The humidity is around 62%, and the visibility is around 9 miles per hour. Not 10, 9. And moving on to tonight, it will get as low as 32 degrees. It will be pretty cloudy. There will be a little bit of winds. It's traveling from 10 to 16 miles per hour. Not too bad, but you may want to bundle up anyway. That wind chill does get pretty chilly. And the sun will set at around 6:17, so it will start to get dark pretty soon. Now, moving on, at about 8 p.m., it will be about 38 degrees. It'll still be pretty cloudy, but it's going to be pretty cloudy all night into the morning. So, it's not really that bad. At midnight, it'll get down to about 33 degrees. And then at around 8 a.m., it'll be around 34 degrees. Yeah, it's been pretty cloudy lately, but, it could be worse. It could be snowing. But, that's all I've got for now. Be sure to stay tuned because I'll be back later to tell you about this week's forecast, and maybe we'll see what the weather looks like around the state.
Thank you, Michael. Calling all Kent history buffs, look no further than the Kent Historical Society and Museum. The local Historical Society and Museum is reopening tomorrow at 10 a.m. after closing for the winter season. Their director, Julie Kenworthy, attributed the museum's collection to the people of Kent. She shared that Kent is fortunate that people care about historic preservation. The museum is open Fridays and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Keeping up with Kent, we have some good news for art lovers. Kent State School of Art's Collection and Galleries has been showing an exhibit called Nexo Entre Raíces, or Nexus Between Roots, that celebrates Mexican culture and links between artists. Tomorrow, featured artist Marco Sanchez will be at the KSU Downtown Gallery from noon to 1 to talk about the exhibit and its meaning. We'll have the full story of the event on tomorrow's 6 p.m. newscast.
College costs might become more transparent. A new bill in the House would require public colleges in Ohio to disclose key financial information to prospective students. The bill would standardize the information students receive about the cost of attendance, available financial aid, and expected debts after graduation. Representatives hope that more people would choose Ohio schools for their degrees and stay here after graduation.
And that's not the only update in education for Ohio. Republicans in the Ohio Senate have passed a bill to change who is in charge of public education. The decision came due to reports of low testing scores and high absence rates, and the new bill will give control of the Department of Education to the governor's office. Both Republicans and Democrats are supportive of the idea, but disagree about how it will be led. The bill is now heading to the House for further amendments.
Railways will one day connect Cleveland, Columbus, and Cincinnati. A part of Ohio's transportation budget for $12.6 billion is for Amtrak to connect key Ohio cities with speed trains. However, one of the significant changes to the budget was by Governor DeWine, who proposed the safety provisions. The main requirement is for trains passing through Ohio to have two-person crews in the locomotive cab. This decision comes after the East Palestine train derailment.
A popular social media site is cracking down on violent speech on their platform. What the new policy will mean for their users.
I just don't know where to begin with Dylan. Everything he did, he devoted his life to myself and Casey and his family, his niece and nephew, which were my grandchildren.
How Florida families are coping with the deaths of their loved ones after the Pine Hill shootings.
Tomorrow's news leaders.
Today's top stories.
From an award-winning student newsroom.
This is TV2 News, truly Portage County.
Welcome back. A Spirit Airlines flight had to make an emergency landing Wednesday after a fire broke out in an overhead bin. Firefighters believe a battery in someone's luggage was responsible.
Footage from people on board the plane showed passengers and crew members dousing the fire with water. The plane made its emergency landing at Jacksonville International Airport, and 10 people were sent to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries.
Delta pilots are getting a pay increase. Pilots are getting a 34% increase in a new 4-year deal. But they are also getting a quality of life improvements like vacation time for Delta's 15,000 pilots. These negotiations started in 2019, but the deals today are worth more than $7 billion. According to the Airline Pilots Association, this agreement runs through 2026.
The American people are sick and tired of billionaires who are heads of large corporations think they can act with impunity. They don't have to obey the law. So I think I am confident or cautiously optimistic that all the Democrats are going to vote to subpoena them. I think we may get some Republicans as well.
A federal judge ruled Wednesday that Starbucks has violated several labor laws in their attempt to prevent workers from unionizing. Starbucks faced 33 labor complaints, and the judge said they showed, quote, a general disregard for the employees' fundamental rights. The coffee chain has been ordered to reinstate workers fired for union activities, as well as provide back pay and damages to workers who launched organizing efforts.
Tesla is headed to Mexico for their next vehicle assembly plant. According to Elon Musk, the plant will be near Monterrey, Mexico, and is a supplemental project location. He emphasized that production is not being moved to the new location from anywhere else. The company currently builds about 2 million cars a year at 4 factories across the globe, but has a new goal of eventually building 20 million cars a year.
And that's not the only thing Elon Musk is doing. Twitter has updated its violent speech restrictions to a new zero-tolerance policy. The new policy includes new restrictions on coded violent language and explicitly bans any encouragement of war crimes and genocide. It also bans wishing harm on other people or on physical locations. This is the first update to the policy since 2019.
March 2nd is Teen Mental Health Day. Experts are encouraging mental health conversations every day to help raise awareness about mental health wellness for young adults.
In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has more on a new campaign aimed at getting families to talk about mental illness.
Addressing mental health issues when it comes to your children, it isn't always easy, but health experts say it's critical.
So many of our young people are struggling.
A recent CDC survey of youth collected in 2021 finds increasing mental health challenges, experiences of violence, and suicidal thoughts and behaviors among all teens, especially girls and members of the LGBTQ+ community. Psychologist Alfie Breland-Noble says one of the most important things parents can do is to show children ways of dealing with mental health issues by facing their own.
So if we don't model it, we don't give our young people an opportunity to see what it looks like, and we don't demonstrate to them that we take mental health seriously.
Noble says it's critical you talk to your children about mental health. She says middle school is an important time to have these conversations. If you're not sure where to start, check out sounditouttogether.org. There are free tips, conversation starters, and tools to help.
One key piece of that is we have to be willing as parents and caregivers who listen. So you ask the question, and then I tell folks we have to be quiet and listen to whatever it is that our young people need to tell us.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The CDC has reported a rise in cases of syphilis in babies. Syphilis had once been reduced to record lows, but between 2017 and 2021, the rates have risen again by 68%. Due to a lack of awareness of the disease, mothers are passing syphilis to the babies during pregnancy when they are unaware that they have the disease themselves. And because cases of the disease were so low for so long, medical experts have reported a lack of knowledge on how to treat it.
The U.S. Senate has passed legislation that could reveal more information about the origins of COVID-19. Lawmakers passed the COVID Origins Act of 2023 by unanimous consent Wednesday night. The legislation would ask the government to declassify intelligence on the pandemic's origins. That includes information related to any potential links between the virus and the Wuhan Institute of Virology in China. This is the second time the Senate has passed legislation about COVID's origins.
Welcome back, Portage County. I think it's about time we see what the weather is like around the state, and we'll see what it's like throughout the week as well. So starting off on the lake is where it's coldest. In Sandusky, it's at 41 degrees, Cleveland 39, and Ashtabula, it's at 38. In Mansfield, it's 43 degrees, it's a little warmer, not by much. Worcester is 45, and hey, Canton and Kent at 48 degrees. It's the warmest in Northeast Ohio, and Youngstown is at 47 degrees now. Moving on to statewide temperatures, going from west to east. Lima is at 46 degrees. Dayton's at 56. Cincinnati, 55. Hey, that's very brisk. It's pretty nice out over in southwest Ohio. Columbus is at 52 degrees. Athens at 56. Then we get back to Northeast Ohio. Steubenville is 57 degrees, and Akron, it's looking to be 45 degrees. Now, let's move on to the 7-day forecast. Tomorrow, Friday, it'll be around 44 degrees. We're going to see some rain. It'll be very windy. Over the weekend, we're not going to see any more rain. It'll be 44, 49 for Saturday and Sunday. We will get to see some sun, but overall, it will be pretty cloudy throughout the entire week. We'll get some showers in the afternoon on Monday as it hits around 63 degrees, which, hey, that's pretty warm considering it is wintertime still. Going to Tuesday, we will get to see a little more sun, but it will be a little colder around what it is right now at 43 degrees on Wednesday. Once again, it'll be mostly cloudy. It'll be a repeat of Tuesday, essentially. And on Thursday, we are going to see some snow. Yeah, wow. It'll be around 36 degrees. We'll see a low of 25. But hey, in the morning, it won't be too bad. And well, that's all I've got for now. Be sure to bundle up just in case it gets too chilly. I've been Michael Neenan. Stay safe, Portage County.
Thank you, Michael. Representative George Santos will continue to be investigated. The House Ethics Committee is launching a probe into possible unlawful acts by the New York representative. They are attempting to find if he engaged in unlawful activity in his 2022 congressional campaign. They are reviewing if he failed to properly disclose information required in the statements filed to the House, and if he engaged in sexual misconduct towards an individual looking for a job in his congressional office.
The Justice Department is urging an appeals court to deny former President Trump immunity in litigation surrounding the January 6th insurrection. They argued that a president can't be immune for speech about matters of public concern if that speech incites violence. This is the first time the DOJ has addressed the questions about Trump's civil immunity for actions leading up to the events of January 6th.
Michigan State University is implementing new safety measures after a shooting left 3 people dead and 5 injured. The gun violence on campus last month has urged the university to require keycard access to enter most buildings after 6 p.m. until 7:30 a.m. But 1,300 classrooms are also getting locks on their doors. And around campus, MSU is installing more cameras.
I shouldn't have to be here speaking. I'm only 10 years old, but I am because my friends have no voice no more.
Survivors of the Uvalde mass shooting and families of the victims gathered outside the Texas State House Tuesday to push for gun reform. This comes 9 months after a gunman killed 19 children and 2 teachers at an elementary school in Uvalde. The protesters called for stronger red flag laws and a raise in the required age to buy firearms.
Uvalde families are not the only ones dealing with the consequences of a shooting. Florida families spoke at a news conference after a reporter and a 9-year-old were killed in the Pine Hills last week. Both families give an emotional statement about their children. Dylan Lyon's family spoke to wanting to take the bullet for his own son and broke down when Tyona Major's family embraced Gary Lyons. But their attorney spoke out against Governor Ron DeSantis and Senator Rick Scott, saying they are sickened over what they call the exploitation of their children's deaths.
Now going overseas, protesters took to the streets of Greece today as anger grew surrounding the head-on train collision from Tuesday. The passenger train involved in the collision was carrying over 350 people, and the crash sent 48 of them to the hospital. The identification process for passengers missing after the crash is still underway. The protesters gathered outside the headquarters of the Hellenic Train Rail Company and remained peaceful in contrast to the clash with police that was seen on Wednesday. A highly anticipated movie is getting an earlier release date than originally planned, when we can expect the film to hit theaters.
And the Cavs traveled to Boston to take on the Celtics last night. I'll have your highlight and more after the break on TV2 Sports.
And now, your TV2 Sports Report.
Good evening, Portage County. I am Blake Goloja with your TV2 Sports Report. Let's jump right in. Kent State baseball finishes up their 8-game road trip this weekend with 3 games against the UT Martin Skyhawks. The Flashes are coming off an impressive 2-game sweep against Murray State, winning 6-4 and 4-3. Kent's pitching has been great as they lead the MAC, boasting a 4.68 team ERA. The Skyhawks have started slow this season as they have given up 10 or more runs 4 times this year. This will be the first meeting between the two schools, and today's game just started at 6 p.m. You can head over to ESPN Plus to watch all 3 games this weekend. And the Kent State football team released their 2023 schedule yesterday, and it could be a very exciting year. The Flashes start the season off visiting the Central Florida Knights. UCF was a member of the MAC from 2002 to 2005, and will be the 5th all-time meeting between the two. The next week, Kent heads over to Fayetteville to take on the Arkansas Razorbacks. This is a rescheduled game from 2020 and will be the first meeting between the two on the gridiron. MAC play for the Flashes kicks off on September 30th when they host the Miami Redhawks. The annual Wagon Wheel rivalry game is slated for Wednesday, November 1st, when Kent heads down to Akron to try to run its winning streak against the Zips to 6. And from the gridiron to the hardwood, let's head over to the Garden in Boston as the Cavaliers faced off against the Celtics last night. Jason Tatum and the Celtics are 0-2 against the Cavaliers this season. They're trying to change that on prime time tonight. We're going to stick with Jason Tatum here as he gets the mismatch he wants, puts it over the big man and puts it in, nothing but nylon. Sticking with Jason Tatum, he's getting a little hesitation against Isaac Okoro and Allen. He's going to get that left-handed and 1 to go. Cavs starting to let this one slip away here, but Donovan Mitchell has other ideas as he shows off his bag and puts the floater in. Tatum. Now this is going to be a big swing of the game right here, as it looks like a loose ball foul is called against Marcus Smart, but the Celtics are going to challenge the call. Let's take another look as Marcus Smart looks like he hooks Mitchell. Maybe Mitchell grabs the arm a little bit. In the end, the decision goes to the Celtics as they get that challenge successful. Next play, Tatum. 3-pointer that really hurt the Cavaliers as that knocked it down to a 16-point lead, and the Celtics are going to win it 117-113. Tatum had 41 points. Mitchell had 44. Cool little moment here as Jason's son Deuce high-fives Donovan Mitchell after the game. And that is it for sports. Make sure to follow at TV2 KSU Sports on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok for updates on all things Kent State athletics. I've been Blake Goloja. Have a great night.
A Netflix TV show is adapted for the stage. Which sci-fi show is upcoming a play production later this year in London?
Welcome back. Fans of Stranger Things have been waiting for the show's 5th and final season, but new Stranger Things content is coming sooner than expected in the form of a stage play. The play is being produced by the show's creators, the Duffer Brothers, and will premiere later this year at the Phoenix Theatre in London. The Duffer Brothers have also confirmed a new Stranger Things spin-off series, which is in the works now.
You won't have to race to see the new Super Mario Bros. Film. Universal Studios' highly anticipated release of Super Mario Bros. Is coming to theaters 2 days earlier next month. The studio says the new animated film will debut in North America on Wednesday, April 5th instead of Friday, April 7th. The Nintendo film features Chris Pratt and Charlie Day as Mario and Luigi, Anna Joy Taylor as Princess Peach, and Jack Black as Bowser, to list a few names. I'm so excited for this film. Like, that's so much fun.
Me too. I've always been obsessed with Mario Kart. I love all the Mario characters. I'm so excited to see like how this is going to be imagined on screen.
Yes. Who's your favorite Mario Kart character?
I always play as Princess Peach.
Same here. I can totally understand.
My favorite.
It's just the best. I mean, I always have to play with Princess Peach, or else I'm just I'm not gonna place well.
Exactly.
So I'm very competitive when it comes to Mario Kart, even though I'm like mediocre compared to probably most people. But Stranger Things is super cool too. Like, I'm a theater person, so are you looking forward to that?
I'm very excited. I hadn't heard about this until now. I'm a huge fan of Stranger Things, and I think this could be really fun.
Yeah, and although I don't think we're going to go to London, I think it's going to be cool to hear about, right?
Definitely.
Well, that is all the time we have for you tonight. Thank you so much for joining us.
For updates on all these stories and more, visit our website at kentwired.com and follow us on all of our social media at KentWired. I'm Alexa Blakley.
And I've been Sydney Brown. Have a great night, Portage County.
This is Portage County's TV2, broadcasting from the campus of Kent State University, streaming online at kentwired.com.